Good evening and welcome to another edition of Alternative News Always Live, otherwise known as the Ian Show. Yesterday we reported from the Castlebar General Hospital a story concerning the fact that A&E patients had in fact been left outside in the hospital car park on Monday and Tuesday evening due to overcrowding in the hospital itself. Now, we sent our roving reporter, Mr. Sidney Pesselwet, to Castlebar General Hospital yesterday. Unfortunately, he was escorted off the grounds in a very heavy-handed manner by security personnel from the hospital. We don't think these were regular security personnel. We believe they may have been drafted in especially to take care of this situation. It was decided by the hospital authorities yesterday that with the temperatures dropping to -4 degrees and the approach of Storm Rachel, it would be unwise to leave them out for the evening due to the threat of hypothermia and of course the tornado strength winds of up to 180 kilometers per hour. The patients were actually moved to indoors, and the excess patients were moved to our former studios on the hospital grounds, which has been commandeered by the hospital authorities, and the remaining 10 patients were moved down to the Traveller's Friend Hotel, which is of course just outside the hospital grounds. We will now go live to our roving reporter, Mr. Sidney Pesselwet, to find out exactly what is going on there today. Sidney, could you give us an update?
Good evening, George. We're still getting the tail end of Storm Rachel at the moment, and a nasty piece of work she was. But we're outside the hospital grounds here. We've been told we cannot go back on the hospital grounds in no uncertain terms. And the news is very sad indeed. As you know, they were moving the remaining patients that had been in our former studios and in the Traveller's Friend Hotel back into the hospital today, where they have they found some beds somewhere, way or another. They have the beds, and everything was running smoothly until they were bringing the last patient from the Traveller's Friend. I can't reveal his name at the moment, but he was suffering from a slight touch of the obesity, whatever, and weighing in at about 450 pounds. It was decided rather than bring him up in the ambulance that they would push him up on the trolley. Well, what happened was there was 2 orderlies. One of them had only started work recently, and we believe he may have not been able to manage the trolley in the proper manner in which it should be managed because of his inexperience. He was finding it difficult to push the trolley up the hill. As you know, there's a big hill, and it's just a short distance from the Traveller's Hotel to the hospital. It's some 156 metres, which is about 444 feet, if anybody's interested in statistics. But halfway up the hill, apparently... Oh, sorry, George, I just lost the fucking mic. I don't know, is it still going to work? I have half it in my hand, the other half seems to have blown away. And not only that, but this new cameraman you've got, he keeps falling over with the fucking camera, George. I know you're not going to put this in the...
You're live, Sidney, you're live.
Oh, sorry folks, my apologies. Yeah, we're having problems with the mic and the cameraman. He keeps getting blown over by Rachel. But that's, I guess the fact is he's an intern. What can you do?
Sidney, could you just continue with the news about what happened to the patient, please?
My apologies, George. I'm just getting carried away here a bit. I mean, mentally and physically, bloody Rachel is nearly blown me away. Only if I've got a big pair of boots on, I'd say I could end up in that bloody field behind us. Yeah, actually, what happened was, Mr. Pavlov, he slipped on some ice that was still there on the ground from the previous day, and he fell over and bounced his head off the tarmac. Fortunately for him, the road had been re-tarmacked in the last couple of days. If he had bounced it off the concrete, it probably would be a goner. But he is in fact in intensive care at this very moment, being treated by the Castlebar's Best.
And what about the patient, Sydney? Was he transferred safely from the Traveller's Friend Hotel back to the main?
Oh, no, George. That's when things went completely down the tubes. At that instant, the other intern made a lunge for the man who was on the ground after bouncing his head, and no braking mechanism was put on the trolley, and unfortunately the 450-pound man that was lying there, he went he went off. He went careering, I think that's the word, down the hill. And oh jeez, there goes the bloody cameraman again. Holy moly! As you know, when something of that weight moves in at that trajectory kind of speed, he started picking up. Well, then he went off down the hill. By the time he reached the main road, eyewitnesses said he must have been travelling about 20 miles an hour, 20 to 25 miles an hour. Unfortunately, there was a articulated truck driving in from the Westport Road, a 20-ton articulated truck that was carrying 20 tons of Connemara marble. And this is where the patient met his demise. He hit the truck, and the truck hit him, and then that was it. Kaboom! End of story. It was instant. It was instant. Just the eyewitnesses, apart from being in a state of terrible shock, they were covered in all sorts of bits and pieces from the patient that his body was just smashed to bits. Oh Christ, there he goes again. Were you drinking, mate? Are you alright? Yeah, George, it's been a complete disaster. We've got one patient dead, one hospital worker in critical condition, and one of the eyewitnesses to the actual accident, an old lady in her 80s, I believe. Well, she fainted. She fell out in front of a bicycle, and the man on the bicycle ran over her. He's got a broken arm. The old lady, well, she's not too bad, but I mean, it's a complete disaster. Oh, mother, there he goes again, Jesus. No, George, it's been an unfortunate day for everybody up here. As I said, most of the hospitals, some of the security guys now are coming down. They're looking down towards us here with the cameras and stuff, and this fella falling around is not doing us any good either. But I think I'm going to have to call it a day now, because I don't want to get into a confrontation with them again, because God knows what will happen. And apart from that, I'm freezing me nuts off. The wind is bloody Rachel is picking up speed again, the bitch. And I've just had it for today, George. I think I'll go home and have a few pints of myself. I might meet you later if that's alright. And we'd like to thank everybody for watching the Alternative News Always Live show. We will have some more broadcasts in relation to this matter, which is a very serious situation. And we'll be talking to you soon. Okay, bye bye.
There you have it, folks. Some very unfortunate news indeed from Castlebar General Hospital, where, as Sydney just informed you, one patient has died. Another hospital worker is in critical condition. Another elderly lady fainted and fell out on the road in front of a passing cyclist who is has a broken arm, and we've now just been informed he's got a broken leg as well. We'd also like to apologise for the dodgy camera work, but our regular cameraman had a big win on the GGs yesterday, and since he collected his money, there's been no sight nor sound of him seen. There is rumours that he is actually down somewhere around Cork on a major piss up, and we'd like to ask him if he could get back ASAP, as the intern that we've hired obviously doesn't have a clue what the fuck he's doing. Well, that's it, folks, for this evening's news. We will of course be back tomorrow with some more news, unless of course we get blown away by another fucking storm. Thank you and good night. John,
No, tell me straight up, mate. Do I look like a complete asshole holding half a microphone? I mean, really? They must think I'm off my fucking trolley. Never mind the patience. That's what someone called it on the social media. I think it was on the fuckbook on the Twitter. He said it was the sorry trolley fiasco. Someone tweeted me, sorry trolley fiasco. That's what they're calling it. Fucking disaster, that's what I think it is.
My house in Budapest, my hidden treasure chest, golden grand piano, my beautiful Castillo. Ooh, I'd leave it all. Ooh, for you, I'd leave it all.